first thing.
Well, it's not the first thing.
Yes.
The seal of
No.
she's
Okay,
just
but she's
established.
Okay, awesome.
No, she's running.
No, she should be here.
Okay, she's here.
All right, so everyone see the sort of like the pole back there? Y'all need to be behind that.
Behind that.
Yes.
Hand this to you first, Judge?
Just
Oh,
give it to the clerk and the clerk will hand it to me through the slide.
Adrian Borrego.
Sorry, Judge.
That's okay.
Get used to the new courtroom etiquette.
Oh, no problem. So you're here on Paul Lubano?
Yes, Your Honor, he just texted me. He's on his way up here. He told me he was going to accept the plea offered by Joe Ray last video hearing.
Mhm.
If I can run down to court 6 and see what my trial thing is down there, I'd appreciate it.
No, your client needs to be here because we have
No,
jury
no, no.
process.
Can I go to court 6 first?
Oh, what I'm
and
saying,
come?
where is your client?
He's on his way, he said.
We're starting jury trial.
I understand.
So if he's not here and by 9:30, a warrant's gonna be issued.
I understand, Your Honor.
Okay.
You mind if I run down to court 6?
Yes.
Hi, Judge.
Hi, Adrian Borrego.
Yes, Your Honor, he's present. This was one where he wanted a status update on a subpoena that we were going to be sending to the telecommunications company in California. We were able to hire a process server. They have served the telecommunications company. We're just waiting for their return, for them to give us the business records.
All right, so when did they serve them?
The last time we were here, the day that we were here last, we said we set it for today for a status. I don't remember when we set it last. I think like 3 weeks ago, maybe. And so we served them, I think that day or the day after. We hired some. Well, I know we hired somebody that day and it was served very shortly thereafter.
All right, have you conferred with the state on the offer?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so you'll need to confer with the state. All right, before anyone approaches, you need to get your file from the clerk. And the clerk will hand it to me. Do not come past the roped off section, please.
It's gonna be please.
Morning.
Hi, if you have a case in this court, you need to get the file from the clerk.
Okay.
Huh?
You want me to make a sign?
Yeah, there needs to be a sign. So excuse me, everyone, can I have your attention? If you want to approach, please grab the file from the clerk. The clerk will give the file to me. Do not go past the rope. There's still COVID in the universe.
Judge, I believe you called the doc. I was just notifying you that my client's here now.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Judge.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna have to make a
I'll
sign.
make you a sign. I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back.
You're so awesome.
Jennifer Castillo.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second.
Rebecca, Who is the one for the compliance?
Anthony Perez.
Can you put it in the chat box for me?
Yeah.
Judge, I know why you called her name.
Coleman, right? Oh, Coleman. He. Okay.
What page is he on?
You didn't want title one?
Need your coach, me if I don't know.
I need to. I can talk to you.
And could I have a file on Anthony Perez, please?
That is. I'll check.
Huh?
You'll ever down as a thought,
Yeah.
but she's not. I mean, she is, but she's not. Not on purpose.
All right, could Anthony Perez approach, please?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor, do I?
Oh, just stand right behind us. All right, so we have an issue. And the issue is that you're not making your appointments. Is there a reason for that?
For the center or?
Everyone needs to whisper, please. What I'm seeing is that there are a lot of non-reports for you. I understand the issues that you're having, but you must report. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what's going on?
Your Honor, via Zoom or in person?
Just, I mean, you have all these myths. And you have compromise. I put you on the drug patch. And there's positives for methamphetamine. And then you didn't get the drug patch for from November 1st to November 24th, no drug patch. From March 3rd through March 24th, methamphetamine. May 18th, you failed to submit. December 8th, 2021, failed to submit. January 25th, 2022, you're admitted to using methamphetamine. So what is the issue? What is going on in your world? Why are you doing this?
Your Honor, besides the drugs, the reason I didn't turn in patches for an extended period of time is because me and my family go on trips. My dad has a boat and my parents have an RV. So around Halloween, we were gone for about maybe a month. So it's just trips.
Well, here's the thing. Unless, and I'm not being mean, but unless you want your next trip to be to the prison, you're gonna have to start getting your life together. You understand?
Yes, yes.
Do you understand how much time you could be facing in prison?
No, Your Honor.
20 years. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that would be me deciding on whether to sentence you up to 20 years in prison. So you can start making your appointments, or you can say, I'm done, I don't want to do this, and then you can go to prison.
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like another chance.
All right, so let's not come back here again for you not reporting, not following through on what's asked of you.
Yes, sir.
Now, it sounds like there is an issue with your ability not to use drugs and an issue with you not following through with your mental health issues. So you're gonna have to start doing that. If you don't, how much time could you look at in prison?
20 years in prison, Your Honor.
All right, and up to $10,000 fine. Now, the $10,000 fine, people usually don't worry about that. It's my liberty is taken, I'm at the prison. Because at the prison, you won't be able to go to trips wherever you're going with your parents, you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So they want to see about placing you in safety. I'm going to give you one last chance to get your life together, to take testing, to get on track with your drug treatment and your mental health issues. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so if you're drug tested today, before we even do it, what are the results going to be?
Methamphetamine takes 3 years to get out.
No, it does not take 3
I'm
years.
sorry, 3 days. I'm sorry.
So when was the last time you used?
Since before I submitted,
No. When's the exact day, the last time you used? You should know this.
I say less than a week. But
All right, and who were you with when you were using? I know it wasn't your parents.
I was with my friend.
All right, so that's not your friend. And you know how I know that's not your friend? Because your friend should know personal things about you, right? So does your friend know that you're on probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then your friend should know that you're looking at 20 years in prison if you don't follow through on what's being asked of you. And he or she should be telling you, don't do this because you could go to prison. So since they're not telling you that, that's not your friend. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
When's your next appointment for your mental health?
Your Honor, I don't know the date.
All right, do you have an appointment upcoming?
Your Honor, I believe we have an appointment card.
All right. Do you keep up with your dates or do your parents keep up with your dates?
My father does, Your Honor.
All right, how old are you?
25, Your Honor.
All right, you're gonna have to start getting you a calendar. They're on sale now because a majority of the year is gone. You can get the big calendar for $4.99, it's probably $2.99 now, and you can get the handheld calendar. I personally, I know people put stuff in their phone, but I put everything in this calendar, everything. So you need to get you a calendar, and if you get one of these calendars, because they're on sale, because half the year is almost gone, you can probably get one for $2.99. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you need to start putting everything in that calendar and carry it around with you. Because if you miss some more appointments, what's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke is going to be filed. And what's going to happen when a motion to revoke is filed, if it's in proper legal order, I'm going to sign it. A warrant's going to be issued for your arrest. You're going to be picked up wherever you may be, at your house. You could be in line shopping for groceries. You could be on the RV with your parents. They're going to take you into custody. If you're out of county, in county, doesn't matter. They're going to take you into custody. Ultimately, you're going to get transferred to the Bexar County Jail. Then your parents are either going to bond you out or not bond you out. Attorney is either going to be appointed to you, and you're going to hire one, and we're going to hear your case, and I'm going to make a decision on whether or not you're going to prison for 20 years. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So this is what I want him to do, Rebecca. I'm going to want him on the UA hotline. That's going to help you with your times because you have to call them every week. If he misses calling a UA hotline, a warrant is going to be issued because a motion to revoke is going to be filed. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, again, if you don't follow through on this, how much time are you looking at?
20 years in prison. Your
All
Honor.
right. And let's give him intensive outpatient treatment. Obviously, he needs drug help. All right. Good luck to you. I'm going to notate in this file. This is another thing. Now keep it on it. I'm going to notate in here that we had this discussion about your drug use, about missed appointments, and that I'm telling you that you're on the UA hotline and that you're in intensive outpatient treatment. And Rebecca, can you make sure that they're doing field visits for him? And let's do field visits 2 times a month random.
Yes, ma'am. And if you can just remind him, he needs to make sure he tells his officer when he leaves on his camping trips. If he's leaving Bexar County, he needs permission.
All right. So anytime you're leaving Bexar County, you need to get permission. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you leave Bexar County and they find out about it, which usually they will, what's going to end up happening again is a warrant may be issued for your arrest. If I review the motion to revoke and it's in proper order, a warrant's going to be issued. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So how much time could you be facing if you don't follow through on what I'm telling you?
20 years in prison.
All right. Just have a seat probation. We'll go over conditions with you. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Rebecca, does he need anything else?
No, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, who is here on Lee Ann Lehman?
I am, Your Honor.
Yes,
Judge, my client is still sitting in the Kerr County Jail. I think there was a warrant for her arrest for failure to appear, which is why you have her down as a felon. I talked with Norma, she's gonna issue a bench warrant.
all right, do we need a bench warrant? Is this working out? Is this not working out?
I think it's gonna work out. I just need to get her here.
Well, I mean, if it's gonna work out, then we could probably do Zoom from that county instead of bringing her back here, and gotta save the county expense, gotta save everybody expense.
Right, okay. We can do that.
So, Ms. Ferguson, on Lee Ann Lehman, I need a 30-day reset.
Judge, can we do it a little quicker
Yes, 2 weeks, Ms. Ferguson.
or once?
Well,
I need some time to
Yeah.
figure things out.
2 weeks is
Because it's a lot.
and Ms. Ferguson, we're just not bench warning, it's just gonna be by Zoom.
I'll try to get it.
All right, thank you.
Adrian Borrego?
Okay.
I'll see what happens.
Thanks. I don't even approach her.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay, just 1 second. Is that the person for impact?
No.
What page is he on?
No, it's
Okay. All right, just keep him downstairs. Who's his attorney?
When he met, they're really having issues with finding his head and just thinking about this.
All right, just give me a second. Can you call Tony Jimenez, Ms. Ferguson? I'm sorry, just 1 second.
No, they're fine.
And what's the date on Lee and Lehman, please?
I'll see you next Monday.
Tony, we have an issue with your client.
This is an agreed order. Oh, it's finished. It's on the deferred education.
Yes, Judge. He was evaluated, he was given a mental health evaluation some time ago.
Yes.
He was finally declared competent after spending almost a year trying to regain competency.
Mhm.
He still has issues. He's supposed to be taking medication. He's off and on his medication. I don't know what else to tell the court at this time. He'll wind up spitting on you or just being really overactive.
Okay,
I've let the jail know. I don't know what we can do at this point, Judge.
all right. And that is Mr. Rodriguez? Perez?
Eliseo,
All right, can I have the file on him, please? All right, so Ms. Ferguson, on Esilio, let's recall him tomorrow. Maybe he'll be in a better mood. So we'll recall him tomorrow.
yes, Your Honor.
And at some point, we're just gonna have to bring him up and he may be, if you could speak to him, let him know he may be wearing the face guard.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. No, let's have him back tomorrow. Thanks. All right, Adrian Borrego.
Yes, Your Honor, you asked me to confirm with the state, which I
Yes.
did. An offer was made. The client does not want to take the offer.
Okay.
Just asking for one last reset so we can get these records and come back.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, Adrian, where's Adrian Borrego?
Adrian, stand up.
All right, Mr. Borrego, if you can come forward.
And Michelle didn't oppose the 25-day reset.
Ms. Ferguson or Mr. Borrego, I need a jury trial date, please, in July.
First, earlier setting. Let me see, I'll get you out.
Judge, if they can step back for a moment, I need to bring up the Excel file. It's not.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, just give us a moment.
Okay.
Check these in jail for some reason. Just for letting them in.
All right, if you'll zoom in from the back, then you can just check. And if you, are you? Okay.
Christopher letting them in. There's 814, 7.
Total 268.
Everyone, we're on pause until the coordinator comes back. So I cannot give you any dates.
Can I be excused? Can I be excused?
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go for the fourth kind of trial.
Ah, who's your client?
Joe Anthony Mendes.
Oh, could I have that file?
It's up there. He's on his way, Judge, but he won't get here till after I leave.
All right, did you have a chance to confer with the state?
Just a little bit.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is, you all confer off docket, and I'm gonna put it at a 30-day reset, and you'll be notified.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
I'm starting the trial for the 6th as well. The jail case. Did you have any impact court on a bond case? Do I just go to the impact court? And tell
Yes.
them? Do we know who's the judge today?
It's Angelina. You should probably, is your client already in impact?
Yes.
Right, you should probably go down to impact and have your client remain here, and we'll give him a 45-day reset.
Okay.
Well, sometime in July,
And-
but just remain so you can have your jury trial date to sign off.
Okay.
Excuse me, Judge, I put a chat in the box for you.
Thank you. All right, so your jury trial date is gonna be July 11th. They're gonna give you a reset form.
I'm gonna write it down. Just keep the reset form. I have to go down to the court. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go down to the court. Your Honor. Have my client excuse himself once he.
Thank you.
gets the reset. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Huh?
Do you want me to call Michelle?
No,
She'll call me. Okay.
In person, Monday and Tuesday. Or Wednesday and Thursday.
Put everything at the bottom so that we'll. All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset on Joe Anthony Jimenez. All right. Jacob Garcia,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning. Yes.
Good morning, Judge. I'm here for Jason Goss. We had a new offer over the weekend, which we need to speak to our client about. I can't tell you if we could take it or not, because we haven't spoken to him yet. So if we can get a 30-day reset Your Honor, on that one.
No, this is going to jury trial if not accepted. I have here, jury trial if not accepted. So he can accept it or not accept it, but there will be a jury trial.
All right, then, Your Honor. If in that case, we place it on the jury trial docket. I understand it set for recall for tomorrow.
Yes.
Then we'll have to file a continuance because we're on a special setting in the 290th. So I'll get the office to file that today.
Oh, have you all actually started a jury trial in the 290?
It starts tomorrow morning, I understand.
Oh, we shall see.
We'll file the motion anyway, right? So we need to go back tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Hey, Judge, can we excuse?
No. Have you conferred with your client on the new offer?
I can do, but. I'll go
All right,
to you.
then let's confer with him. Paul Lubano? Yes. I have the file. What's going on? All right, thank you.
We talked about that earlier. Your Honor.
Okay. That's not right. All right, who is here on Francis Marion Barnett?
Robert Wilson.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah, no, behind the line. COVID is real. Yes.
So Mr. Barnett had some travel needs for to do his job. And there's two travel instances this month, one to California to Fresno and the other one to Albany, New York, where he's going to do presentations and meet with clients. Worked with Marcus Sanders, and Marcus Sanders did sign this and agree to it. And I believe the travel order has all the needs in there. When he gets back, he's to report and give a hair follicle test for an ETG test.
All right, so how is he traveling? Is he driving? Is he flying? What is he
He'll be
doing?
flying, and when he's there will be no car driving. He's going to Uber or take lifts with other people. He will not be driving at all.
Yeah.
What time is he to arrive in Albany, New York?
All right. Look, it's not in there. He doesn't have a time. I don't know if he's bought that flight yet.
No, it just has the dates,
Yeah, the dates. I don't have the times for the flight.
because I'm gonna require him to report by Zoom,
Okay,
no later than 4 p.m. each day that he's away.
okay. Oh, and he can report before 4 p.m. every day, right?
Yes, but I'm just saying no later than 4 p.m.
And he reports to this court or to the.
No, to Zoom with probation.
Okay.
Let me get something. I'll get you something here. Maybe I'll have like some one.
And of course, to give you a copy.
Thank you.
Coach Gordon,
Good morning, Your Honor. This was a motion to allow the residency restriction through pretrial services to be expanded. Pretrial requires 75 miles. The defendant live within 75 miles of Bexar County or San Antonio. He's currently in residential treatment or non-residential outpatient treatment at Temple. There's also a protective order, an EPO in place that prevents him from living in his house. So he's living with his brother in Temple. That's how he winds up in Temple. That EPO, the date it will expire on it. It's in the motion. I apologize. I don't have that fresh on my mind, but I want to say it's sometime in July. So between now and then, allowing that to be expanded to allow him to live in Temple, I think is beneficial under the circumstances. But then after that point, after he is released from the facility and complied with all of their rehab requirements, he'd also like the opportunity or potentially need to come back for work. He knows he cannot be at his residence, but he might need to be closer here to go to work. So that's why we're asking it just be expanded. I think you had received an email saying that the state was in agreement with it, but with the caveat that they were just like it, if the judge and pretrial services agrees, but pretrial is not a party.
okay, here's the thing, the state is not in agreement then. If it's like, if
I'm right here. Oh, I'm sorry.
if the state is saying, oh, we're in agreement, if the judge is in agreement and we in agreement as pretrial services in agreement, then the state is not in agreement.
Judge, I just wanted to make sure there weren't any logistical issues with having him reside there. I don't have a problem with it, but if it's going to interfere with his supervision or pretrial conducting their business, then that's another story.
So to be clear, he has no GPS, so it's not monitoring. It's just
Okay, where is he? He's in Temple, Texas right now?
yes.
What location?
I do not have that on me. I don't know if I have that in the motion or not.
Oh, yes, you said you have 1551 West FM 93.
Yeah, so he's not on GPS. This is mainly just to have compliance, so pretrial doesn't violate him for being in non-compliance with their contractual agreement with him. And there was no bond condition that required him to live within 75 miles. So it's just a precaution because we don't want problems.
All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'll allow him to reside in Temple. Council, when it's time for him to leave, you know, at least a week before, let the court know, and then we can take up other matters.
I like to return to Bear County,
Yes.
or can he return to Bear County and live here? Because right now that's the requirement that you live within Bear County at 75 miles. So are we taking that away?
Yeah. They really want to know where he is. That's the whole point. So I'm saying that he can reside at this location in Temple, Texas. If there comes a point in time where he wants to reside back in Bear County, let the court know, approach with another motion.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm here on Paul Lubano, Your Honor, should be up there with you. Lubano.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor, we have a plea agreement with the state of Texas.
All right.
I was hoping for a reset of 2 weeks for the plea.
Why can't we do the plea now?
Your Honor, his wife, who is here, is due for her baby on the 12th. We're hoping he can be here for that. It's a to-do.
Oh, well, we can do the plea and then I'll reset.
Okay.
For sentencing.
Your Honor, may I run down to 6 and talk about that? Because I'm on the trial. I'll get down there too.
All right, let the state know that you're doing the plea. Yes.
Judge Comfort, you want to Cortez?
Yes.
Judge spoke to him, he was rejecting the offer, so.
Okay, who's your client?
Robert Cortez, Judge, it's the case number.
Cortez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, could I have the file on Cortez?
Yeah. Sorry, Judge, I thought it was up there.
Is it Cortez?
No, Jacob Garcia. Judge.
Okay.
Sorry, I got
No
different person
problem.
on my mind. I do apologize.
All right, where's Jacob Garcia? You need to come forward. Mr. Garcia, my understanding is that you're rejecting the state's offer.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to be back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. for jury trial. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
All right, if you're late, a warrant may be issued for your arrest. So that's at 9 a.m., not 9:01 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you then.
Judge, may I be excused?
Yes. He needs to get a reset form.
Oh.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you? Hi.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure you saw me live and in person.
Okay, I was like,
I have a broken shoulder. Other than that, it was a TIA, trans something or other, this thing you can attack where it acts like a stroke.
oh my gosh. Well, I know that you're supposed to be wearing that sling. Why are you not using it?
Because I may be in trial down the hall, a little misdemeanor trial. So
But won't that buy you sympathy?
that's why it's here, you know. No, once you get up and take a shower, your stuff starts hurting again. So yeah, just.
Well, it's good seeing you. I'm glad
Thank
you're
you. I just wanted
okay.
to let you know you're my savior. You're the one that
Aw.
took me. I had to lay there forever on that commercial. I've fallen and I can't get up without you.
Oh, you're so awesome.
Thank
Have a good day. Norma? Jacob Garcia is coming back tomorrow. Is there a Joe Anthony Jimenez here? All right, and Ms. Ferguson, before you do the reset on Joe Anthony Jimenez, he has to appear because he hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, this, I needed to get to the back to get a copy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just need to announce on it. And then I'll write it back.
All right, Aaron McDonald.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm
Yes.
here today. We have received an offer. We've talked with the state. We're going to be waiting on one background or criminal history of the co-defendant. We are asking for a 30-day reset.
All right, where is Aaron McDonald?
He's got his hand, stand up, please.
All right, you need to come forward.
He's not going back, he's not going back to Canada.
Yes. All right, have you received all the discovery?
I'm waiting on one document, which is the background, background for the co-defendant.
Does the state have this or do you just not have it?
I just don't have it, but they do have it because he's listed as a suspect in here.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I'm Aaron McDonald. Can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, we're gonna come back on June 20th.
20th.
Yes, June 20th. And you'll need to get a reset form, Mr. McDonald. And on that date, you all need to have your acknowledgement of discovery done. And that will also be your plea deadline date, Mr. McDonald. So at that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Okay, go ahead and listen.
Damon Lloyd. Yes, what is happening with Mr. Lloyd?
It's a first setting judge, first post indictment center. I've talked to the state. They're going to be looking into a couple of things. There's a, from the report, it seems that I've received everything discovered except there's a mention of a potential photo that I haven't received. From the report, I don't think that it exists because the complaint says I tried to take, so whether he did or not, or whether it was a lousy photo or no photo, we don't know, but they've got a couple. Yeah, they've got a couple things. As I said, it's a first.
All right, so the state is not prepared to make an offer.
No, not this point.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Damon Lloyd, can I have a 30-day reset, please?
Thank you.
Oh, he's gonna have to sign a reset form.
Oh, I'll be.
All right, thank you. We're we're a little rusty because of COVID.
Yeah, what? I just went to 7 and conferred, and the prosecutor was there and I was there. And when I went back in the back and said, is the coordinator here? They said, no. I said, well, you'll have to sign out by Zoom. I said, well, we're both here. There seems to be a way to expedite.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna come back on June 20th. And at that time, the state will give you an offer. Jesus Mendes.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Albert Gutierrez for Mr. Mendes.
I'm not used to seeing, you're the only person who appears on Zoom where I see a majority of your body because you're usually standing. So I recognize you immediately. Everyone else, I have to put them like in the square in my mind. So the last time we were here, I received notice, I believe, on April 25th, that there was no need for an interpreter. An immigration attorney was appointed. And then there was some issue with the transfer of DNA.
Two things have happened, Judge. We met with the immigration lawyer. She still hasn't, we know what she's going to write. We just don't have the letter yet. That number one. Number two, the DNA, the buccal swabs were taken from by warrant on my client, and then another witness voluntarily. Those results are not back.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Yes.
Yeah, so after last setting, and a stern word conversation, the detective submitted the buccal swabs to the lab, I believe, a day or two after the last setting. Those results are still pending with the Bexar County Crime Lab. As of today, they haven't received anything yet.
Do we have an idea when that's going to be done?
I've asked for them to expedite it, but I don't have a good time frame. Usually, we're talking at least 3 months, even on an expedited, because it's like 6 months if it's not. But I can continue to have conversations with the Bexar County Crime Lab to convey to them the urgency of both the state and the court in getting results.
All right. So, Ms. Ferguson, Jesus Mendes. Well, let me ask you this. You did tender an offer, correct?
I believe so.
Yes.
All right, and that offer is being rejected.
I wouldn't say that, Judge, because the offer was tendered. That's when I asked for immigration counsel. And even though I have a sense of what she's going to write, she did say, wait for the letter.
Okay.
The letter. So not necessarily rejected, more than likely, but I would like to be able to counsel him based on immigration counsel.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have this set for a jury trial? Put us at 45 days, and if the DNA testing is not back, of course, we won't be going to jury trial. But if the DNA testing is back before then, you need to be prepared for a jury trial, Mr. Mendes. And because you're waiting on the DNA, that will be his plea deadline date as well.
Okay.
So I won't not allow him to plea.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. So we're going to come back on July 11th for your jury trial. And I'll put it down as a plea deadline date. And I'll notate and for my notes that we're still waiting on DNA results. So just get a reset form for Ms. Ferguson.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Give this to Ms. Ferguson. Look back. Give this to Dawn, please. Miguel?
Oh, good morning, Judge. Sorry. I showed up in person, but apparently my client is connected by Zoom. So I've conferred with the state and I need to be put in the breakout room with Mr. Armando de la Rosa.
They are not here.
1 second.
Just give us a moment, Mr. Nahara.
Not a problem, Judge.
And just when she has a chance. I'm gonna get that.
You need to get the file from the court, give the file to the court. Yes, Shermarcus Porter. Oh, yes. Yes, COVID is real. People, COVID is real.
Serpentine.
No. Behind
Where do you
the
want
line. Behind the fancy pole.
I'm not going to be able to do this from where I'm at. I need to speak with you ex parte.
Okay.
So I just wanted to, I'm not sure how you want to do it, but.
All right, is there a motion for me?
Not yet, but I need to talk to you first before I figure out exactly what you need from me.
All right, just give me a moment.
Thank you.
Brenda?
Yes.
Can I have some white noise, please?
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna
Oh, thank you, Judge. So I'm so short. Sometimes I have trouble.
I can hear you. And you can speak up. Nobody can hear you.
Oh, great. Okay. So I am.
Yeah.
Michael's yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're so awesome. All right, Isaiah Salinas.
I'm present for him. He's over in the box. There was some misdemeanor warrant that we didn't know about.
All right, so what's happening with this felony case?
Judge, he was just indicted last month, so we're still at a discovery point of view. So we'd ask the court for another setting.
Has an offer been tendered?
He hasn't tendered an offer yet, as I said. Certainly a discovery.
Did the state tell you when they anticipate tendering an offer?
I don't want to speak for the state, but he's sitting right here. It's Michael. It's Michael.
All right, you want to ask him when he thinks they'll have an offer?
Michael, the court's asking a question.
I'm sorry, Judge.
No, I wasn't asking a question per se to you. My question for the defense was has an offer been tendered?
No, but I can extend one today. I don't know if he's ready to consider one, but I can extend one today.
All right, so they're going to extend an offer to you.
Again, we're not prepared, Judge. I hadn't looked at the discovery. Some time to do
The way this court works, and I know that people have gotten out of habit because it's COVID, the way this court works is on first settings, the state tenders an offer. I'm not asking you to accept that or not, but I require that the state tender an offer. So they're going to tender an offer to you. And when they tender the offer, let me know if they're tendered an offer, then I will give you your receipt.
Sure.
Have you conferred with the state and
Yes.
come up with a time frame?
I don't have a time frame on it. I know that Marcus was still trying to figure out exactly where some of these items are.
Okay, I'm gonna need him to bring the file for me. Can you check and have the Robert down there?
Yeah,
All right, so they want Robert there now? They want him there? All right, thank you, let me know. And Norma, what is happening? Miguel said he's waiting for somebody on Zoom.
Yeah. Actually, change off the
All right. Yeah, she should be. Okay.
I submitted the work for fee. Do we have to have time to put up in courts? Or?
No, if the paperwork has been submitted, we will do it before you leave.
Okay.
So has your client filled out everything?
Everything, I believe so, Judge.
All right, has your client been sworn in?
No.
All right, let's get him sworn in.
This should be done.
Yes.
Would it be possible for you to call county court too and let them know I'm here?
Yes.
Because I've sent them emails, but
Yeah, I will email the judge right now.
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and he says that he has three paperwork. That's fine. Thank you.
It won't be me. Yeah.
Yeah, I said 5 hours. Judge, can I ask you a question? Mr. Cedillo apparently is sitting down at Impact.
Yes.
Is it possible to have the state bring, I have 6 cases on your docket today, and 2 this afternoon. Is it possible to bring the file back over here so I can try to work it out here for a plea, as opposed to having to go down to Impact to try to do it later on?
Once they're sit down there, they're sit down there. So it'll have to be worked out down there.
Okay. Okay, all right, well,
I understand.
I will be here until I finish, so I just.
Okay. I understand.
Okay. Hey, and Ryan reserved the deal on the motion.
All right, thank you. Brenda, are you ready to do it, please?
Yes.
All right, could I have the parties on Elias Rodriguez, please? Or Elias Rodriguez? Court is calling 2022 CR 2352, State of Texas versus Elias Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the
Efrain Torres
defense.
Jr. for Miss Elia Rodriguez.
And are you Miss Rodriguez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, state's proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault causing bodily injury. And for the record, we are waiving and intervening any familial allegations.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Ms. Rodriguez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury as a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment for that offense is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, off the record for a moment. Mr. Nahara?
Yes, Your Honor.
To breakout room number 1 with your client.
Wonderful. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. De La Rosa, if you go to breakout room number 1, please. We're back on the record. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury. There's a $0 fine and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have any such motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
There have been motions that have
Oh,
been
no, I
heard.
think you said, are we abandoning? No, Your Honor, that's not.
So there have been no motions?
No.
All right. So you understand if the court were to follow this agreement that I would not grant you the right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, next I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 18 months. There be no harmful or injurious contact with Eric, E-R-I-K, Gonzalez, G-O-N-Z-A-L-E-Z, and hostility and aggression control course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury as a Class A misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, state offer states exhibit number 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objection.
Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. How the court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, my client Elias Rodriguez just takes responsibility. She wants to move forward and get this past her. And she would appreciate if the court just follow the recommendation offered by the state.
All right, so Ms. Gonzalez, I'm sorry, Ms. Rodriguez, I'm reading other people's names in the thing. Are you and Mr. Gonzalez still in a relationship?
No, You're on.
All right, so there's no need for you to have any contact with him.
Well, to some extent, yes, Judge, they have 4 children.
Can't that be through a third party? Because it appears,
Well, Judge, they are going through a divorce proceeding right now. I don't know how that's going to play out. I don't know what's going to be ruled, but at this time, I believe, are you guys communicating in regards to the kids?
It is through third party.
so they can continue. I think it's best that they do it through a third party.
Sure, that's fine, Judge.
All right. So,
And Judge, I have to say, we've spoken with the complainant, he specifically asked for this. I understand the court's decision. I just want you to understand our recommendation was based on.
all right, thank you. But anytime someone goes into a home, doesn't live there, cause commotion because there's a photo that he sent or somebody sent with him dancing with someone else. I don't understand why people let that bother them.
Your Honor,
Yes,
that was not the case.
I mean, that's what it says in the police report, and this is what's been stipulated to. So this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if somebody is unfaithful, if somebody's dancing with somebody else and you think they're unfaithful, put yourself on pause and make a decision. Either you're gonna accept that or not accept it. If you're not gonna accept it, just call it time out on the relationship, call it quits. But now what's happening is you have a deferred adjudication for an assault bodily injury. That could have easily been a deferred adjudication for a burglary of a habitation. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I'm a party planner and I do sales online.
What do you sell?
Victoria's Secret.
And where are your children?
School. And my daughters are with my mom right now.
Okay, and where were they during this whole incident?
They, I think they were with my parents.
All right, see, if people would have been with their children, either you or him, none of this would have happened. All right, this is what the court is gonna do, 18 months deferred adjudication. I'm sorry, deferred adjudication, parenting classes, 80 hours of community service restitution. Once you complete the parenting classes, the court will waive 40 of those community service restitution hours. And if you provide proof of a COVID vaccination, the remaining of those hours will be waived. The court is not requiring anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, and you provide proof, or if you've had it and you provide proof, the 40 of those hours will be waived. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be no contact with Eric Gonzalez outside of court proceedings. There's to be the hostility and aggression course, aggression control course, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. If you're drug tested today, what will the results be? All right, there's to be regular UAs. And there should be a drug test today, Rebecca. Rebecca, is there anything else you need?
Were you gonna do field visits, Judge?
Yes, let's do field visits, regular one time per month. Ms. Rodriguez, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
Judge, since she does part of the arrangements and she sells online, would an affidavit suffice, or how would you want me to show proof of that?
Oh, I'm sure just, I'm pretty reasonable on that.
Okay.
But she will have to show some type of income that's coming in.
Okay.
All right, she has 4 children to support.
Correct.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. And you know, before entering into another relationship, get an orchid. And when I say get an orchid, we're off record, Brennan. What I mean by that is this. When somebody gives you an orchid as a gift, it comes with the beautiful blooms, right? So when you get that orchid, and usually they're like $12.99, and it has the blooms on it. Wait until the blooms fall off, which they will, probably within like 3 months or so. And if you're able to get that orchid to bloom again and keep it alive for 1 year after that, you'll be ready for a relationship. And I say that because orchids require patience. You can't move them around too much. They like to be talked to. You got to put the right amount of fertilizer and everything. Good luck to you.
Judge, do you want her to report with CeeLo Reyes in the back?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Yeah, Coach on it.
Yes, has he arrived? Joe Jimenez. Joe Anthony Jimenez. Come forward, please. You need to make sure that you're on time for court. Court starts at 9 a.m. Do you understand? All right, if you're late again, what's going to end up happening is a warrant may be issued for your arrest. We won't be waiting for you. All right, so they're going to give you a reset form. Don't leave before you get your reset form, okay? All right, thank you.
Yeah, Coach,
Yes.
we have an offer on Mr. Salinas.
Okay.
I've conferred. Be back to court for another setting.
Okay, you'll have to give the file to the clerk. We'll give the file to the clerk.
It's fine.
The file, do you have the court's file or no?
No, ma'am, I have the state's file. Salinas?
Is it Isaiah Salinas? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you're just waiting on some discovery?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'm gonna need to get Mr. Salinas to my office and take a look at the evidence.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on site, Isaiah Salinas, can I have a 30-day reset, please?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Oh, just 1 second. Oh, and Mr. Sawyer, I'm going by order of the files that they're given to me.
I understand that. I'm patiently waiting.
Thank you. June 13th. All right. So Mr. Salinas, you're going to come back on June 13th. They're going to give you a reset form. So we will give you that and we'll see you back on June 13th. All right, Donald Gilliland. Good morning. So, on that one,
Yes. I'm just asking for order granting my expert access to some digital evidence.
and so do you have a time frame when that will be done?
No, I don't, Your Honor. When I last spoke to Marcus, he was still trying to find out exactly where the items were. And he said, once we got an order, he could turn it over to law enforcement and facilitate that.
Okay, and where is Donald Gilliland?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there's a BF out for him. Okay.
That's correct. But since there's a lot of evidence, Your Honor, I don't see any point in waiting to try to get it.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, even though Mr. Gilliland, I saw he's a BF and there's a warrant for him, is that correct in the system? All right, can you give me another date? Because even though it's a BF, I want to just make sure that the discovery that Mr. Garcia wants, he's seen it, everything. So if you could put it at 45 days. And if you'll make sure the clerk has to stamp it.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so this is going to be recalled for June 20th? June 20th.
Will that be in person or Zoom?
It's going to be in person. I think.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure. Okay. All right. All right, on Laurie Silzer.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Yes. What is happening with Ms. Stilzik? Ms. Stilzik, can you come forward? Okay, you guys are violating
The space rule.
The space rule.
Oh, there's a
See,
rule.
we have that, Brenda, we have that nice little line, but people just think it's just there for no reason at all. Yes.
I recall that the last study, Mr. Sawyer indicated he was trying to obtain a fingerprint expert, and today we would follow up on that.
All
Am I
right.
correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I have from April 13th, I have expert has all documents to make decision.
Yeah, that's correct. There's no new discovery in this case. I'm ready for trial at this time.
Okay, so what is happening, Mr. Sawyer, with your expert?
It's not that, it's my personal life that's come apart. My wife had a fall. Spent 8 days in Memphis Hospital. She's right now in Warm Springs. She's gonna walk right now.
Okay.
It's required all my attention every day. The points I missed, all my appointments with Stilzig. I'm either in court or at Warm Springs to see what's gonna happen with my wife. It's very important to me.
I'm hoping it is. I know how much you love your wife. That's nice to see.
Well, I only have one wife. She's been with her for 55 years. It's our anniversary yesterday.
Oh my gosh. See, Brenna, 55 years.
Yes.
He doesn't need an orchid.
No,
He knows his wife is always right.
She is.
Yeah.
But right now it's a real critical stage, Judge. It will be for the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. I've talked to doctors on this point.
Okay. All right. Do you have any problem with me resetting this?
No, Your Honor, I can be ready at the next setting as well.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set this then for the jury trial date on July 11th. That's today.
Judge, that should be sufficient time to find out what's going to happen with my wife. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Do appreciate
Tell
it.
her she is in our prayers.
Thank you very much. You have excused, Your Honor.
Just wait for Miss Ferguson to come back so that she can give you a
Oh, I'll
reset.
certainly wait for that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I'll see you soon.
All right, thanks for coming down.
Oh, I'm just glad to be back in court.
Okay, have a good one. All right, and can you put this to Norman and let her know that jury trial date for that is July 11th? Yes. All right, who are the parties on Paul Lubano? Where's Mr. Lubano?
He's right behind me now.
No.
Just trying to not make any mistakes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, and just 1 second. Ms. Ferguson, could you give a July 17th date, please, for July 11th date for Ms. Stelzick, please, for a jury trial? All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 2321, State of Texas versus Paul Martin Lubano. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ryan Groomer for the state of Texas.
Michael Goins for Mr. Lubano, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Lubano?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. Sorry, we're not proceeding by video. We're in person. Still, but there's video on. All right, Mr. Sorry, just 1 second. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Lubano, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
All right, off the record for a moment, please. We're gonna have parties approach. Can I have some white noise? And how much time is your client going to be asking for?
We were gonna ask for 2 weeks, Your Honor. I didn't know if you wanted to report here or the jail.
Oh, here,
Judge, yeah,
because I'm not
judge.
going to send it to him today.
Oh, so it's gonna be sentencing in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's the date, Judge, that we're doing sentencing? Do we have one yet?
I'm getting it. From him. Ms. Ferguson, could you give me a 2-week reset for sentencing on Lubano, please, in the chat box?
I like the white noise, Judge, by the way. I like how you did the white noise.
Oh, let me just tell you, white noise is the best thing. And do you know people actually cannot hear when you do white noise? All right, so we're going to come back on. She's giving me a date of May 31st.
That'll be fine, Your Honor.
All right.
I said that to my client.
Yes.
I'll explain that to me.
All right, we are back on the record. State, I'm sorry, Mr. Lubano, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're not, Judge. There's 2 counts. We proceed solely on count 1, and we would waive the repeater enhancement allegation. Therefore, this would be a state jail felony.
And you're waiving count 2 as well?
We waive count 2, yes, ma'am, Judge.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Lubano, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 less than 1 gram? The state is proceeding on that offense as a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he is, Your Honor.
Mr. Lubano, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 1 only. Punishment is to be assessed at 7 months in the state jail facility. There's $1,000 fine, and you agree to be subject to the full range of punishment with the original indictment, which is as a 3rd-degree felony, if you fail to show for sentencing on May 3rd, 2022 at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
I believe that's May 31st, Your Honor.
Oh, May 31st,
Sorry, Judge.
because May 3rd has already passed. No, that's me. You know, I need glasses for distance, not for reading, and I'm trying to just test that theory out. But my doctor told me I need the line, but I refuse to get it. All right, so you understand, if you do not show up for sentencing on May 31st at 9 a.m., you'll be subjected to the full range of punishment.
Yes,
And the full range of punishment is as a 3rd-degree felony. And the range of punishment for a 3rd-degree felony is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be in the entirety of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you also understand with this felony conviction, you are not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll have to contact an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, defense, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the agreement?
It is, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it? I'm sorry, did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that cannot be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not, Your Honor.
Then Mr. Lubano, to the offense is charged in count 1. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
All right, state, do you have the, I'm sure that Mr. Lubano is going to show up for sentencing, but do you have the judgment?
I think I have it.
And I'm sorry, counsel, what we can do is, if the state wants to offer that as an exhibit number 2, at sentencing, they can always request that it be withdrawn.
Yes, I'll be fine, Your Honor. No objection.
So, Mr. Lubano, if you show up, and I say if, but I know you will show up on May 31st. What will happen is the state is going to enter into evidence now, state's exhibit number 2, which is the repeated paragraph, the judgment from that. Once you show up on the 31st, the state will ask that it be withdrawn, and I'm assuming your attorney is going to agree that that exhibit be withdrawn from evidence, and I'll grant that, so it won't follow you.
We're printing it out, Judge, if you could just give us.
Yes.
a 15 seconds. Judge, if I may, we don't have the judgment and our system is not pulling it up. However, I do have a Bear County sheet. I have talked with the defense. I don't think they're objecting to that sufficing as proof of the prior.
All right. So the defendant has entered a plea of guilty. State, do you have any evidence to support the plea?
Yes, Judge. State would offer State's Exhibit number 1, including the amended State's Exhibit number 1 with the sheet that I just handed the court and let the defense inspect before I hand it.
All right. Any
No
objection?
objection, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lubano, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them and did you sign them?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. This will be reset for sentencing on May 31st at 9 a.m. Mr. Lubano, the court understands that you have a child that's due.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, children do make their own appearances whenever they choose to make them. So when is your child supposed to be born?
Due date's on the 11th, so it should be any day.
Every day. Well, here's the thing, we're off the record, Brenda. Mr. Lubano, here's the thing. Do you know if it's a boy or girl?
Oh, little boy.
All right, so you want your son to look up to you, right? So you're gonna have to start doing better things. And since this is possession less than a gram, I'm assuming there was some use going on. You're gonna have to get your life in order so that your child can look up to you and be proud to tell people that's my daddy. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just remain, if you go in the back and get a reset form from Miss Ferguson for your client to sign, and we'll see you back on May 31st at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Cristofoletti Marino. Yes.
Mr. Groomer and I have conferred this morning. There's a little bit of a discovery issue, so we need a short reset. We do anticipate having a plea, but we need to make sure that I have all the discovery before we do so.
All right, and how much time are you asking?
I don't think we would need more than a couple of weeks.
All right. Ms. Ferguson on Cristofoletti Marino. Can I have a 2-week reset for disposition, please?
And he's in custody.
2-week reset on Marino. All right, so I come back on May 31st.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Is your client in the box or not?
No, they already took him back to the back, but
Okay, no problem. Do you need to see him or?
no.
All right, so he can go back and he'll be back on the 31st.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. And Norma, make sure that they don't miss Mr. Howard downstairs. Marla Garrison?
Judge, I'm here on that.
Yes.
Garrison, can I recall this for this afternoon at 2 o'clock so that she can, we're gonna pay the restitution downstairs.
Okay, so does she have the money to pay the restitution?
Not this second, she's gonna have it at 2.
What does that mean?
She's gonna have the money at 2.
Why doesn't she have it now?
Because my husband went to work and he took the money order with him. He forgot to leave it at the house.
All right, we'll be back at 2 p.m. and at 2 p.m. If it's not here at 2 p.m., I'm not accepting it.
Okay.
And it is, you're gonna be scheduled for jury trial.
Okay.
So we'll be back at 2 p.m.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. Angel Star with 2 R's. Hello.
How are you doing?
Great.
I just want to let the court know I'm here. I don't have any contact with Ms. Starr. I reached out to the bonds company. I tried the numbers they have on file. I don't know where she's at. But,
Okay. All right.
just letting the court know.
All right, just give me a moment. Is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. Court is calling 2022 CR 2753, State of Texas versus Angel Star, Angel May Star. Can I have parties announced?
Ryan Grimmer for the state of Texas.
Rick Ramos for the defense.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is 10:55 a.m. There has not been an Angel Star in the courtroom at all today. Defense, where is your client?
I have no idea, Your Honor.
Have you made attempts to contact?
I have, Judge. I've reached out to the bonds company. I tried the number that I was given on my appointment. The bond company gave me 2 numbers that I tried that were unsuccessful as well.
State?
Judge State would ask for a bond forfeiture based on her not appearing this morning, and we would ask for a warrant to be issued for her arrest.
All right, I'll grant the state's motion. Your client will be remanded without bond. If your client is able to make appearance this week, the court will reconsider.
We'll let the court know if she makes an appearance, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
That's what we have. All right, thank you.
Just in case. You like to ask me for it.
Wilma? Laurie Wilma?
If they need 2 different phone numbers or both their phone numbers.
It's a neat little setup, Judge.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Lori Wilmer,
Yes, Judge.
is she on bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Lori Wilmer.
Vanessa.
Happening?
Judge, I have a talk with the state. We're going to go ahead and plea on the misdemeanor, Your Honor, and then the felony will be dismissed, Judge. Just trying to coordinate a court date with County Court 13 to get the plea done.
Who's 13?
That's Rosie.
All right, would you like to go down to Judge Gonzalez's court now and then come back up and give me a date?
Sure.
All right, so just, Ms. Whitmer, if you're remaining in court, you'll give me a date for that, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Vanessa Castillo,
Yes, Your Honor, that's my client.
where's Ms. Castillo?
I have no idea, Your Honor. I called the bondsman. She's on PR bond, so I called them. I got 2 different phone numbers. Tried both phone numbers. They all went to, like, they didn't even go to voicemail. They just like the phones have been disconnected. And the only thing she could give me was an address, but you know.
All right, just a moment. Can I have a prosecutor? Vanessa Castillo, please. Court is calling 2022 CR 3840, State of Texas versus Vanessa Castillo. Is there Vanessa Castillo in the courtroom? All right, could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
Anita Perez Garza for defense.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11 a.m. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
I do not, Your Honor. I looked through my notes and I don't even have any contact with her at all.
All right, and is she on a PR bond?
She is on a PR bond.
All right, state?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the state would move for the court to remand the defendant without bond and issue a warrant for arrest.
All right, the court is going to issue a judge's warrant and your client will be remanded without bond. If you have contact with your client and she presents herself this week, the court will reconsider.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're excused. Yes. All right, do you have a file on this? All right, who are the parties on Derrick Woods? Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 4188, State of Texas versus Derrick Woods. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
Linda Corley for Mr. Woods.
Are you Mr. Woods?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Woods, I'm going to show you 2 documents. The first is entitled A Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and the First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Derrick Woods who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 4188 for the offense of assault, family choking, strangulation on January 28, 2020 for a period of 2 years and extended for 1 year? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 1, on or about the 23rd day of March 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Derrick Woods committed the offense of unlawful carry of a weapon in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And the state would waive and abandon the remaining allegations.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Woods, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find in violation of condition number 1, the unlawfully carrying of a weapon, as true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is to grant the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt and assess punishment of 4 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And the state is going to take into consideration cause numbers, County Court 681-601 and CM case 97092.
That is our agreement, Your Honor.
And you said 4 years prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Woods, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court, as previously stated, is finding violation of condition number 1 true, finding you guilty, not granting you community supervision, taking in consideration county court cause number 681601, CM number 97092. Is there one after that or just CM 97092?
I think there might be a CM 09, depending on who you ask.
Okay. So taking consideration CM 097092, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Sharon, CHARIEN Miller. And is Ms. Miller aware of what has happened with this case?
On the underlying, we have not spoken to her. On the new, there's a new case that he did not believe she was being dismissed. We've spoken to her.
All right, is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing further from the state.
All right, Mr. Woods, I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also because there's an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We'll go off the record. I do have some dismissals for you.
Oh, thank you, Judge.
Is there anything for?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be quick.
No problem. Mr. Woods, how old are you?
I'm 29.
All right, so you know it's time for you to get your life in order, right?
I'm gonna succeed regardless when I get out. So
Mhm.
you'll
All right.
remember my name in a good way instead of on a felony. So that's my least worries. Thank you, though.
All right, oh, I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know what? Remember what you said to me, that you're gonna do better, okay?
Always doing better. Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. All right, who is Mr. Leach? Kent Leach.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Judge, I conferred with Marcus Sanders. He's in the impact court. And we were here for the purposes of the medical records. And so we did obtain some of those. I spoke with Mr. Sanders a little while ago, and he's told me that he's going to attempt to access some additional records if those records exist. And that's why we're reporting here today or in any case.
All right, so when do they anticipate having these records?
Judge, he wanted me to make sure that I emailed him the specific information today, so I could do it today. I don't know what his schedule is though, in the impact works.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson or Mr. Leach, I'm gonna need a 3-week reset, and that's for the records, and then after that, we're gonna do a jury trial setting. So she's gotta give me a date, just for this moment.
Yes, Judge.
And where is Mr. Leach?
He is in custody.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna come back on June 6th for the medical records.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you need to speak with your client?
No, not at this time.
All right, Deputy Laurie, you can take Mr. Leach back.
Maybe it's used.
Yes, always great seeing you.
Good seeing you, Judge.
All
Take
right,
care.
have a good one. Bye-bye. All right, who is the party on Albert Alvarez?
We are ready.
All right, is there an agreement or no?
No.
Okay, and where is Mr. Alvarez?
He's in custody. Judge.
All right. Brenda, you ready? All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 11156, State of Texas versus Albert Alvarez Jr. We're going to have parties announced for the record for the state,
Joe Hooker for the state.
for the defense.
Linda Corley for Mr. Alvarez.
All right, and are you Mr. Alvarez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the defense has filed a motion asking that a bond be set. State, have you had a chance to review that?
I've not had a chance to review the motion itself, Judge, but I know that the court has revoked Mr. Alvarez without bond, and the state is asking that remain in place.
All right, defense, or I'm sorry, state, are you ready to proceed with evidence?
With evidence, Judge, I believe that this is the defense's motion to decrease bond.
They're asking for a bond to be set. He's currently remanded without
Okay,
bond.
yes, Judge.
If y'all
Yeah,
need a
Judge,
moment to
yeah, could
confirm,
I
that's
have a
fine.
moment, Judge? I'm
Sure.
sorry.
We'll get you a police report or something so you can at least see what we're looking at. Judge.
Okay, just give us a moment. We'll take that out.
Would you like us to have a seat, Judge?
Yes, please. Thank you. All right, who is on Yepez?
I am Judge.
All right, where is Miss Yepez?
She's right here, Judge.
And do we have motions on this?
We did, Judge, and that part of the plea is that she reserved her right to appeal.
Okay, and was that motion heard by?
Angelini.
Okay. You know, I consider myself as having a steel trap mind, and I was like, I don't remember hearing a motion on this.
You didn't.
Okay, so Brenna, my mind is still a steel trap.
Mine's been strong.
All right, court is calling 2021 CR 9284, State of Texas versus Elizabeth Yepez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ryan Grimmer for the state of Texas.
For the
Robert
defense?
Maurer for defendant.
And are you Miss Yepez?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Yepez, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Yepez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're not, Judge. There's 2 counts on there, Judge. We proceed on count 2, and we would waive the enhancement allegations. We would also waive count 1. Count 2 is a second-degree felony, straight possession, 4 to 200 grams.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Yepez, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on count 2? And that charge is possession of a controlled substance coming group 4 grams to 200 grams. That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I did.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe she is.
Ms. Yepez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargaining agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. The state opposes your application. Did you understand with a felony conviction, you will not be allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes.
Did you also understand if you have a question of what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney? Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
The judge, there was a motion to suppress, was denied by Judge Angelini, and we reserve our right to appeal that.
That's part of the plea agreement, Judge. We're allowing them to retain their right of appeal only for that motion.
All right, and the court sees that outside the plea bargain agreement, state agrees to allow the defendant to preserve the right of appeal on a motion to suppress that took place on April 18, 2022 and April 19, 2022. And the court will note for the record, you will have, if I follow your agreement, you will have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal will be as it relates to the motion to suppress. Do you understand? All right, then to offense and count two, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Judge. State would offer State's Exhibit number 1 and all attachments.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Yepez, Ms. Yepez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. And Ms. Ferguson, on this case, I'm going to need a sentencing date, please. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. All right, so we're going to come back on July 25th at 9 a.m. for sentencing. Ms. Yepez, the court will make its decision on your application based upon a report I received from probation and any other evidence that's presented to me on that date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mauer, is there a need for a TAP evaluation?
I'd ask them to be done, Judge.
Okay. And Rebecca, there's going to be a TAP evaluation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the probation officer is here and back. She'll go over everything that needs to be done, but do not leave before you get a reset form.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing else.
Not on this case, Judge. I would like to approach another case.
All right, thank you.
Do you need to pull a file?
Yes. Okay, while we're waiting on that.
Judge, we're ready on the Alvarez bond motion. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. All right, Brandon Guzman, what is happening with Mr. Guzman?
Judge, we're trying to resolve a discovery issue. This case is, as the court can see, extremely old. There's been a long wait for the FBI to turn over cell phone data to the state. We got some of it. My cell phone expert submitted to the mapping data. The last 2 or 3 settings that we've informed that the FBI has not turned over the mapping data, which is what my expert says is what's relevant and necessary in order to make the cell phone data worth anything as far as trial. But I think Ryan wanted to push the court as far as whether or not they know anything about the mapping data.
I'll be honest, Judge, not excuse. That's the first I knew about that particular thing. So I'm trying to figure out, maybe it's done, maybe it's not. I don't know, Judge, but now that Mallory's told me that, I'm going to go look and figure out where we're at on that, Judge. I even told Robert if maybe we can try to just recall it so I can give a status update later this week. I'm just going to try to make some calls and figure out, did we get it? Did we have it? Or if not, what's the timetable on it, Judge? I didn't know that was something that was pending on this case.
We had talked about recalling it for the morning. I know I've got a bunch of cases set with you. And I've still got to go do my plea down in the 175th on one of your cases.
Yes.
So I just want to see if maybe we can recall them for the morning to see if they have it. I'd like to get it as soon as possible so I can get it to my expert.
All right, well, I tell you what, we're gonna recall it tomorrow. We'll see where we are.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thanks, Judge. And then, Judge, on my other cases on the docket, I have to go do a plea downstairs with Mr. Cedillo. That's the case that got sent to the back. Can my other cases be recalled for this afternoon? I've got 2 cases with you this afternoon anyway.
Yes.
And then just that way I can try to get all this stuff knocked out.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Judge.
All right, on Albert Alvarez. All right, is there an agreement or no?
There's no agreement, Judge.
All right, so we're on the record in 2021 CR 11156, State of Texas versus Albert Alvarez Jr. Our defense has filed a motion to set bond. State, have you had a chance to review the motion?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
All right, defense, is your motion.
Your Honor, we would like to request that the court set a. We'd like to request the court consider setting a $40,000 bond. His family doesn't have a lot of money. He did have a violation, Judge, but he made a poor choice when he was on GPS house arrest, Judge. He just had a panic attack and cut off his GPS, Judge.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, you said he cut off his GPS?
Yes, Your Honor.
Like with scissors?
Judge, I'm not sure. That was just a violation report. I know that the state's probably going to address that with you. He has been in jail for a number of weeks. He understands that was the wrong thing to do. He has suffered in jail, and he has assured me that if he has the opportunity to bond out again, he will follow all the requirements and he will not do that again.
State.
Judge, before I make any argument, I approach with State's Exhibit 1 that has been tendered to defense.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, State's Exhibit number 1 is admitted into evidence.
And Judge, that's the prosecution guide from the case that we are here on. And I think it's important that the court is aware of the facts with this aggravated assault.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
Yes, Judge, I would add that the original bond was $80,000 and that included full house arrest GPS. And that fee for that GPS was waived by the court, and still Mr. Alvarez chose to cut off his ankle monitor. And I also think it's important, just for the safety of the community, that the court's aware that Mr. Alvarez was released from TDC custody on March 15th of 2021. And you can see that a day shy of 6 months, Mr. Alvarez is picking up a new offense with a new victim here in Bexar County.
All right, and so State, I'm assuming you're asking that he remain without bond.
Well, Judge, I would ask that if not that his bond is at least as high or higher than it was originally, rather than decreasing it from what it was when he then decided to cut off his ankle.
All right, defense.
Judge, nothing further from defense.
All right, Mr. Alvarez, you cut off your GPS. You're charged with an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And let me see, any objections to the court reviewing how the case is indicted?
No, Your Honor.
So you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and you're indicted as a habitual, which means your minimum is 25. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the court placed you on GPS, and GPS is designed so that the court will know your location. And so that pretrial services will know your location. And you removed that GPS monitor. Does anyone know where the GPS monitor is? Was it ever collected?
Judge, it might have, I believe his mom may have given it to pretrial services. I'm not positive about that. I do know that I believe he was picked up the day afterwards. The very next day, his mom he was staying with his mom, correct? And she takes this very seriously, and she's actually the one that called in and told pretrial services what had happened. So, Judge, I do believe that he would be staying with his mom, and his mom will not hesitate to notify the court again if there's any problem.
All right, the motion is denied. He's remanded without bond. Have you had a chance to confer with the state on this case?
I have, and I'm going to talk to my client further.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, yes.
Thanks.
All right, who is here on Doriana Garcia? Yes.
Chad Van Brunt, Ms. Garcia, Your Honor. I've been waiting at the state. They have not been able to find her file today. And so they're telling me they're recreating it. Looks like it's gonna be quite some more time. When we had left off the last setting, Your Honor, we had left off waiting for an offer pending contact of the complaining witness. To my knowledge, and it's confirmed with the state that it's not happened. So we were wondering if we could just get another.
Let's come back at 2 and see where we are.
At 2?
Yes.
Your Honor, I do have a conflict. My daughter, I have to take her to a doctor's appointment. And I don't think it can be available at 2.
Okay, well, we got to make sure you do that. How old is your daughter?
She's 14.
Oh, yeah, you got to be there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll recall it for tomorrow to see
Okay.
where this file is.
Recall for tomorrow. That's fine. Thanks. In person, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay, I'll let Ms. Garcia know.
Doriana Garcia. Recall for tomorrow.
May I approach?
Do you have a file?
I believe it's Lorenzo Humphreys.
All right, I'm going in order. Oh, and if you'll just give that to the clerk, officer, you'll give it to the clerk. That way they'll put it and let me know. Sure. All right, who is Lorenzo Humphreys?
Judge, I've attempted to contact my client. He's not present in the courtroom today.
You may still have it.
So is there a prosecutor available on Lorenzo Humphreys? He's not present.
I can do that, Judge.
Thank you. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 3542, State of Texas versus Lorenzo Miguel Humphreys. Now parties announced for the record for the state,
Ryan Grimmer for the state of Texas.
for the defense.
Christine McDonald for the defendant.
All right, is there Lorenzo Miguel Humphreys in the courtroom? All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:28 a.m. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
No, Your Honor, I've attempted to call him at several numbers, but I have not been able to get a hold of him.
State?
Judge Shaver asked for a bond forfeiture and asked for a warrant to be issued for his arrest.
All right, that'll be granted. He is remanded without bond and a bond forfeiture will be granted. If you make contact with your client and he presents himself to the court this week, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. Who are the parties on Daniel Vasquez?
Your Honor.
Yes, what is happening with Mr. Vasquez?
Judge, we have an offer. Is it possible to reset it out for a week or two?
Why?
To talk to him about the offer, give him a little bit of time to decide.
Okay,
he wants
where's
to
your
accept it.
client?
He's here, Judge, in the courtroom.
All right, this case is close to a year, so you'll need to discuss it with him today.
Okay, Judge, I did, so if it has to be, then we'll keep it on the trial docket for whatever day.
Oh, you're gonna be up for trial tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Judge. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Daniel Vasquez, could you come forward, please? Mr. Vasquez, it's the court's understanding that you're requesting a jury trial? All right, so you're gonna have to be back here tomorrow. We're gonna start picking a jury at 9 a.m., so you'll need to be here at 9 a.m. Do you understand? All right, Ms. Ferguson, you give Mr. Daniel Vasquez a reset for tomorrow at 9, please. Yes. All right.
Be excused, Judge.
No, she's gonna give you a reset form.
Thank you.
All right, who are the parties on Wilmer? Laurie Jean Wilmer.
That's Ross Rodriguez.
Okay. Hi, we're looking for your attorney. Do you know if he was able to get a date from downstairs?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, just wait for a moment. As soon as he comes in, we'll take it up. Okay, thank you. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 3523, State of Texas versus Quentin Henry. Are the parties here on Quentin Henry? Now parties announced for the record for the state.
Joe Booker for the state judge.
For the defense.
John District for the defense room.
And are you Mr. Henry?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're Mr. Henry, just one moment. There it is. All right, defense, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Henry, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the
Oh,
indictment?
that one, I wanted to speak up on that one, the 11th.
When you're, what's the charge that you're pleading to? Dismissing the other.
Okay.
All right.
All right, the case we're proceeding on, Mr. Henry, is 2022 CR 3523. So have you had a chance to review this?
Yes, I have.
All right. Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Henry, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what your charge with is possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 less than 1 gram as a state jail felony? The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in a state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to speak up.
Oh,
Don't be shy, speak up.
yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement? If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you enter a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has been able to assist against defense counsel.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he was currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Henry, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm showing you the plea bargain agreement. Did you review that document or that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed as a Class A misdemeanor with a state jail felony conviction under 12.44 of the Penal Code. Your punishment is to be assessed at 77 days in the Bexar County Jail. There are no applications, and the state is taking in consideration 2022 CR 3522. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State would offer States Exhibit 1 and attachments.
Any objections?
No objection.
Mr. Henry, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, after viewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
Court will follow your plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 77 days in the Bexar County Jail under 12.44 of the Penal Code. You're credited for any time served, taking consideration 2022 CR 3522. Is this a judgment satisfied or not?
I believe it is, Judge.
Court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Mr. Henry, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you, Mr. Henry?
I am 36 years old.
All right, Mr. Henry, I see that you're not from here. You're from another state.
Museum. Museum.
Yes. Don't embarrass your state by going to another state. Don't embarrass the state of Louisiana by coming to the state of Texas and committing an offense. And here are some rules to live by. When someone asks you to leave a location, you need to leave the location. You understand? If you have a drug or alcohol problem, there are plenty of places to get help. If you don't take care of yourself and get help for whatever underlying issues you have, what's going to end up happening is two things. One, you're going to be in and out of prison. You're going to wake up and find that your life is over. You're going to be the grandfather of the prison that everybody goes to for advice. Or number two, you're going to continue to use drugs. And as I tell everybody, those drugs are not FDA approved. People are just trying to make money. And you may get a hold of a bad batch and your life will be over. You understand? All right, take care of yourself. Good luck.
You too.
Yes.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks for coming down to help out.
Always a good time. Mr. Dishard?
It's time to, Joe,
Yes, Judge.
we usually have you all look over that for advice as far as setting a bond.
Okay, can I just, you can give me just a
Oh,
minute?
yeah, take your time.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
All right, anybody who's lined up, you need to make sure you have a file, so you get the file from the clerk. And then I'll pull it. So who is on Wilmer?
That's me, Your Honor.
All right, could you come forward, please? So when is it going to be set?
Judge, I went down there. It's set for June 27th, but I was trying to get hold again of Sybil to get an earlier date, of which I need to do that, Judge, to get something sooner.
All right, if you can come back at 2 p.m., I'm gonna see if I can get you something sooner. So just report back here at 2. And if you have no objections, I'll send a text message to that, to the court.
I'm not just.
All right, so if you can come back at 2 p.m., we'll see if we can get a different day.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Is my client excused or she have to come back as well? Too? Okay.
Yeah, so we can give her a day.
Just, all right, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you so much. All right, this will be back at 2. All right, Officer, if you could come forward, please. And Brenda, if you could put us on white noise. Yeah. Thank you for waiting.
Thank you very much, Judge. Take care, man.
All right, all right, Julian Martinez?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
I was looking to the state and they have not contacted all of the victims on some gun theft cases. And need a few, like they need a week or two to do that.
So where is your client?
He's in custody. Okay.
Okay, all right. So,
Judge, if I could, Judge, there's, I think we have a couple things. We have a couple of attorneys appointed to the different levels of offenses. He has a number of theft of firearm cases that are either pre-indictment and post-indictment. I'm trying to get to the bottom of just trying to resolve everything so we don't resolve part of it and stuff comes after the fact. So if I could have a couple weeks just to try to reach out to all the complainants on those cases and try to get a package offered.
And I'll communicate with the other two attorneys. So I think I'll probably end up pleading mine. Most likely theirs will be dismissed. So, but I'll keep them in the loop and all that so we can get it done quickly.
all right, Ms. First, Mr. Martinez, can I have a 2-week reset? And Lupe, I'm assuming that this is the only indicted case?
I believe so, Judge.
No, there's a 1742.
Let me check.
No, there's a 1742.
I was gonna say, I think there may be another indicted.
Okay.
There's at least one other indicted. And it might not be a bad idea, Judge, to get all the attorneys here, because I'm not positive if we're gonna dismiss all of those cases. So if we could have the attorneys on the other cases come in on that day also.
And who is this? Teresa?
Teresa Garcia is on some.
Okay.
And Danny Darrow may only be on this.
So who are all the attorneys?
It's just Teresa. I guess Dan just has that misdemeanors.
Okay, maybe so. Maybe there's a third attorney, but he may be just on the misdemeanor.
All right, so can I have a 2-week reset? All right, we're gonna come back on May 26th.
Okay, thank you.
Deputy Laurie, you can take back Mr. Martinez. All right, David Rodriguez?
That's me, Your Honor.
Yes.
We're on the second setting, Judge. I'm conferring actively with Brian Bruno. I was wondering if the court has a standing order for breath test materials, or if that's something I need to present.
That's something you need to present.
Can I bring that to you later this afternoon?
Yes, so we'll come back at 2 o'clock on this case. Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's on bond. Judge, I like would be impossible for me to come at soon.
Is it really impossible?
It's supposed to be in Carnes at 3:30.
Okay, I'll recall it tomorrow.
Okay. Let me see if I can rearrange my.
Ms. Ferguson, David Rodriguez is coming back tomorrow.
If I can rearrange it, can I come this afternoon? If I can rearrange my.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Judge, I believe you still have the file.
Yes, Alvarez.
Yes, Mr. Alvarez.
Yes.
I have conferred with the state. We have an offer. If we could get a reset, he wants to talk with his family about it first.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, Albert Alvarez, let's come back tomorrow.
Judge, he wants a little more time to think about it. Could we come back on the 26th, Judge? It's gonna be a to-do anyway, so he's not coming.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but this is the jury trial document.
I know, Judge, if I could please have to the 26th, I know that I think I can get everything okay by then.
I'm sorry. We'll see where we are tomorrow. Alvarez is tomorrow. Deputy Laura Albert Alvarez can go back. Leticia Lopez? Yes.
You have an agreed request to set bond here.
Judge, may I be excused?
Yes. All right, do we have, does she have more than one file? Is the other case indicted, Mr. Young?
No, it is not indicted yet, Your Honor. This is the MTR on that case.
Oh, no, I have the motion to revoke. I'm just wondering about the enhanced, well, she has the MTR on the enhanced theft. Is there anything else?
As far as I know, there's an evading arrest, Your Honor, with a vehicle.
Okay, is that misdemeanor?
It is a felony. It has not been indicted.
Okay. Where has your client been?
Pardon?
Where has she been?
She's in jail.
No, I mean, because this.
Oh, I have no, I think she's just been here in San Antonio, Your Honor.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out with her buds.
All right, so
Brittany.
Ms. Sparks or Ms. Lopez, when will you guys be ready for a hearing on this?
On the bond, Judge?
No, on the motion to revoke community supervision. Because I'll need to set that.
Okay, if we could do, minimum of 2 weeks, Judge, but if you would give us 30 days, that would be preferred.
Okay,
I would agree with that.
all right. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Leticia Lopez, please? All right, so we're gonna come back.
She's not set today, Your Honor.
Hmm?
She is not set today. This is an off document.
Okay, so we're gonna come back on May 20th at 9 a.m. for the actual motion. And the bond will be set at 8,000. I'm gonna do GPS and waive all fees. Because it appears from the motion. to
She was
revoke-
habeas corpus for a while.
Yeah.
Can I get my copy? Oh, I have a copy.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. All right, the attorney to approach on Porter. Yes.
Judge, it's my understanding that he has not appeared.
And so is he in custody or not?
He is not in custody.
And this is the only case he has?
Yes.
Okay. All right, is there a prosecutor available on Mr. Porter?
And we did confer, even though he wasn't here, that there's only so much we can do.
There is, that's true. And just so everyone knows, the court is taking its break at noon. And any other cases that have not been heard before noon, you're gonna need to be back here at 2 p.m. 1:30? Thank you. I'm sorry, 1:30. Since we're breaking it, usually we break at 12:30, but we're gonna break at 12. And you'll need to be back here at 1:30 p.m. Court is calling 2019 CR 9038, State of Texas versus Shermarcus Porter. Is there a Shermarcus Porter in the courtroom? All right, could I have parties announced?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
Kathy Mr. Porter.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:54 a.m. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
I have not been able to contact him. I have contacted who I believe to be a family member, and that he is still not appeared, Judge.
State?
Judge, he's already remanded without bond due to an affidavit for surety surrender, so I don't know what other remedies we have, but we want to make sure he gets arrested. So there's also some other remedy.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna issue a judge's warrant, and I'm gonna issue the judge's warrant. That way, if someone else sees it, they'll know that it needs to come back to me because the judge's warrant has been issued.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, and have you all, I guess you all have, do you have all the discovery?
I think we're
Maybe.
double checking. It's really voluminous, but I think everything's there.
Okay.
This is the case I spoke about earlier. So we're still trying to figure out what lab reports we have and if we've got them all. There may have been a later lab report that.
We're gonna check.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Mr. Porter, can we reset this in 2 weeks? And let me explain the reason. We're off the record. This is the why it's being reset in 2 weeks. One, because Ms. Porter may have turned himself in and we may have, a captive audience with him. And two, it's just to see where we are with that. So
It's a very old case, so I have no problem with that.
all right, so I'm not necessarily expecting that to be a jury trial date. It's to see where we are and see if we can get in touch with Mr. Porter.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's do it in person. Whichever is easier. Zoom is easier for you, that's fine. All right. Okay. So we do 30 at 9 a.m.
Yes.
Is there anything ready or no? All right, Brendan, this is gonna be the last one and then we'll break it. Mr. Nahara?
Good morning, Judge. Yeah, I think I was just waiting on Ryan to finish up the paperwork. He was gonna do it, I guess, because my client's at the Zoom, he was gonna do it online. Ms. Ferguson's already sent her part. I'm just waiting on Ryan to finish his.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Judge, I think we accidentally did that one in paperwork because I forgot that Miguel was online. So we have it done, we just don't have it done digitally. We'll try to get it corrected. It may take a second. Yes.
Okay, no problem. Mr. Nahara?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're gonna have to have you back at 1:30.
Can I make it 2? Just because I have another appointment. Is 2 o'clock bad?
Yes, we can make it 2.
Thank you, Judge.
But if you can remain on Zoom so that we can get the digital paperwork to you and your client, so that'll be done.
No problem.
All right, this is the last case we're gonna do. Anybody else, you'll have to come back at 1:30. Court is calling 2022 CR 2953C, State of Texas versus Jennifer Castillo. Everyone else, you'll be back at 1:30. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Ryan Grover for the state of Texas.
For the
Alfonso
defense?
Cabañas for Ms. Castillo, the defendant.
And are you Ms. Castillo? Yes, ma'am. Defense, I'm showing you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Castillo, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Yes. Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Castillo, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney?
Yes,
Did
sir.
you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're charged with the offense of felon in possession of a weapon? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow that plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor, she did.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I believe she does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Ms. Castillo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargaining page, did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration NIMAG number 613690, CM number 96077, and there's to be no contact with Oscar Castillo. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Defense is at the plea bargain
It
agreement?
is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you did you sign it in both places?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the plea.
Yes, Judge, conversation exhibit number 1 and all attachments.
No objections to states 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
Ms. Castillo, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation and testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Other than we asked the court to follow the plea agreement, Judge, we negotiated with the prosecutor's office.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. Court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Take in consideration NIMAG number 613690 and CM number 96077. And there's to be no contact with Oscar Castillo. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge, I do have dismissal.
Ms. Castillo, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand? If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to discuss that with an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you, Ms. Castillo. Ms. Castillo, do not be the person who's the grandmother at the prison where people are like, how are things running around here? And they say, oh, that's the oldest person in the prison. And it's you, okay? You got to get it together.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Good luck to you. Just one moment. All right, everyone, the court is going to take its recess. Brenda, you can take your break. We will be back at 1:30. Yes.
Judge, on that magic